Hello again. In this next presentation, I want to go over some of the goals for the seminar, things that we'll be doing during this semester, and the skills that I hope that we'll be developing through the activity of the seminar. This includes both formal and informal skills. It includes both skills that are based in the materials that we'll be looking at as part of the formal requirements of the seminar and activities that you'll be engaged in outside of those formal requirements. So let's take a look. First of all, the formal requirements. The principal goals of this seminar are grounded in the principal goals of area studies in general. That is to say, what area studies does is it takes an empirical focus on a particular part of the world, a particular state, a particular region, a particular cultural formation, and it looks at it through the lens of different types of research, particularly social scientific and humanistic research, to develop an understanding. And area studies also takes place at the intersection between these types of research that we will be looking at and policy as it is developing in the present world. So the first skill that I hope people will be developing through the seminar is to develop a research-based foundation for the evaluation of policy. That is to bring scholarly understanding to policy, to politics, and to the development of politics. Second, although every person engaged in area studies comes from a particular disciplinary background, area studies itself involves a combination of disciplines. It is never sufficient to look at the parts of the world that we're interested in only from the perspective of history or political science or sociology or anthropology or economics. Very frequently, we have to do all of those. And by doing all of those, I hope that people will be able to develop insight into what each particular discipline has to offer to an understanding of the region, and also what the combination of disciplines has to offer. And finally, third, by looking at a range of contemporary and recent research in the region, it's hoped that students are going to develop an overview of some of the principal current debates that are going on among researchers and the positions in those debates. So those are the formal goals. Let's look also at some informal goals. I think one of the principal goals and one of the reasons why a scholarly approach to understanding the region is so important is that every one of us has a personal approach. Every one of us has a social and a political orientation. These are perhaps postures. What we hope to be able to add to that is the ability to address and to flesh out and to develop and sometimes to change those postures with the kind of understanding that is brought to research. And so, although we're going to be pursuing ongoing debates, we hope to do it in a way that is informed and balanced by research that is going on in the field. And in the course of developing that kind of enhanced empirical and theoretical understanding, I think it will probably also be the case that people in the seminar should develop an enhanced understanding and appreciation of the diversity of positions and understandings and orientations that are available. I mean, it is one thing to choose between a variety of ideological or social or cultural orientations, and it's another thing to appreciate what ones that you might not share might have to offer. And finally, third, this is also closely related to the general position of area studies. We are going to be looking and focusing on a particular region of the world, a particular set of states. But one insight that I hope will develop through the course of it is a sense of how the issues in this region come together with issues elsewhere in the world and with some general problems, empirical and theoretical problems, that are present in the disciplines that we look at them through. Now, in order to do this, it's going to be necessary to follow the readings that we've chosen as required and recommended readings for the seminar, and other academic readings that might interest you. But another part of area studies that is at least partly unique is that things will happen that we are not able to anticipate at the time when we are designing our courses and seminars. So you have to follow events in the region. You probably have or may already have your favorite news sites that you follow. Continue to follow those. I have prepared and keep continuously updated a list of news sites, and this includes sites for news and commentary in English, in the languages of the region, in some of the other languages. There is a link here on this slide. Check back on this list. It is constantly updated. Take a look at several of them at least once a week. You'll want to know what's going on. Sometimes the events that are going on will be a part of our discussion each week. Sometimes they will take over our discussion each week. And finally, another thing you'll want to do is follow the activity that is going on with relation to discussion of the region at this university and elsewhere in London. If you are in London, this is the place where we have embassies of each of the states of the region. All of them organize events. Follow those events. Follow the events of the center based at UCL here at CEAS, the Center for Southeast European Studies. We have our seminar series with at least one event each month, usually presentations of research or panel discussions related to events in the region. Those are announced at these two sites that you see linked and with images of on the slides. UCL is not the only place with a center dedicated to Southeast European studies. There are centers at Goldsmiths and at LSE as well. Follow the activities of those centers and see what's happening in order to become well informed, in order to become immersed in the region. Yes, it is necessary to follow the events that or follow the materials that we've asked you to read as a part of the seminar, but you've got to know what's going on. You've got to become a part of the conversation, and you have unique access to these conversations because of the institution where you're registered and its relation to other institutions in the city. So stay engaged, and the knowledge that comes out of this will be rich and diverse and useful.